Hello, ministry leader. I wanted to put this presentation together to give you a behind the scenes look at the ideal disciple discovery process, to give you an idea of what this process looks like and what me and my agency do for churches. And I'll actually give you some some look at some of the documents that we put together for churches and just what it looks like on the back end once a church actually signs up for this, just to give you some insight so you can maybe share it with your team, or just give you a better idea of what this will look like for your actual church. So, just a little bit about myself. I am a husband, a father. I have been a church leader for over 10 years, and I have had the opportunity to partner with over 100 churches through my agency. So, the ideal disciple discovery process has 8 steps included. Very briefly, it includes a demographic report of your community, and a detailed avatar of your ideal disciple, a journey map for your ideal disciple, confirming the data with a secret guest to visit your church. That's the first phase. The second phase is to develop an epic church brand designed to reach your ideal disciple, create your ideal disciple story brand website, set up your digital location, and develop a 12-month digital ministry game plan. So this is a total of a 60-day program, and phase one will be week 1 through 4. And the first step is to get insights from your community. So there are 8 metrics that we're going to look at with this demographic report. Number 1 is the current population. Number 2, the median age. Number 3, the average household size. Number 4, the median household income. Number 5, educational levels. Number 6, adult marriage percentage. Number 7, number of people in church. And then number 8, the generational mix. And this is a look at some of the insights that we've found for a church that we've done this program for. And yes, so this is just a brief insight of what this would look like for a ministry. Number 2 is to discover your ideal disciple. So there are 4 factors that contribute towards discovering your ideal disciple. 1, the spiritual DNA of the pastor. Number 2, the spiritual DNA of the ministry. Number 3, the community segmentation population. Number 4, a burden of the Holy Spirit. So we look at all of these, and then we put together an avatar of your ideal disciple in your community. And this is an insight of what that would look like. And this is actually an example of what we were able to find from a ministry that we've done this program for. The ideal disciple map to discipleship sample. So once we discover your ideal disciple, now we create a map from where they are currently to your actual ministry. So this this is basically the 4 steps of that map. It includes awareness, interest, desire, and conversion. So basically, we ask questions, or what would make them aware, what are they interested in, what is their desire, and then what would allow them to, what would cause them to convert and join the ministry. So this is an example. The first question for awareness is, when is my ideal disciple most receptive? And what we do to discover this is we actually do a community survey for people who meet the criteria of the avatar, and we have them answer several questions. And what we did in our first one of our community surveys. These are some of the findings that we found inside of that report that we did for another church, and they included Facebook, Instagram, email, and podcast. The second question is, how can I relate our ministry to our ideal disciples' needs? So these were some of the, when we asked them certain questions, these were some of the things that they were interested in. So outdoor concerts, hiking, walking groups, community festival, art and cultural museum. So this was one example, but it could look very different depending on your context. And basically, we look at that and we use that for future possible ministries or partnerships with other organizations in the community. So that's where we kind of use this information to connect with the ministry. The third is desire. How can I show our ideal disciple our ministry really fits in their life? So what are some of their desires based on the survey that we've done? Some of them said to grow spiritually, to learn, engage with social justice activism, and book clubs. Number 4, how can I get my target to take action? This includes creating relevant social media content, creating relevant events, creating relevant learning opportunities, prioritizing digital call to action. So these were some of the findings that we found in our survey. So understanding our neighbors community survey, this just kind of shows a little bit about the type of survey that we put together, and we would basically message people who meet the criteria of our avatar to get those findings that we just looked at. So the fourth step is to get a secret church guest. So what we do is we reach out to people in the community, again, that meet that criteria, and then those that even filled out the form, and we ask them to consider being a secret guest at the church. I actually coach them, and I do a post interview with them. In fact, if you're interested in seeing that post interview, I actually have the link that for any church that's interested. And also, I can send over this presentation so you can get access to some of the behind the scene forms for this. But basically, we reach out to people in the community. We ask them to be a secret guest at the church, and then we do a post interview with them on their experience and what some of their insights were, and if they found anything that could be helpful for the church moving forward. So that is the first phase, and that gives us all of the data that we need to go into the second phase, where we actually begin to implement some of the findings into into this next phase. So the first step is to do an EPIC church brand framework. And EPIC is actually an acronym that stands for 4 different things. I'll show you what that looks like, but it's a process that you can use to turn an organization into a brand. A step-by-step means making sure that people know why your brand exists, what its purpose is, its visual identity, and the connection you make with customers or people in your community via written communication. So the E in EPIC stands for existence, why your church exists and why people should care. It should include your origin story, who launched the church when, what problem was trying to be solved, how did the church solve it. Purpose, why your church does what it does. Finish the sentence, we believe that. So brainstorming keywords or ideas that you care about. State what your brand isn't also. So that's another big part. So the P stands for purpose. The I stands for identity. So what the visual look and feel. So this includes the logo, the color palette, images, and typography. So we basically put your entire brand kit together during this phase, and we look at what it is now currently and see if there's anything that we want to revise, and then we are able to create some samples of what it can look like based, and we're even able to utilize the secret guests and get their thoughts on it as well. So that's another great um, benefit of that secret guest is we're able to run some of these new fields by them to get their insights on what this looks like. Number C is connection. So a brand voice in written communication is your voice serious slash funny, formal slash casual, respectful slash um, irreverent, or matter of fact slash enthusiastic. So basically getting clear on the brand voice for the church is going to be really important, especially when it comes to the copy for the website. And that leads us to our next phase: create your ideal disciple discovery um, story brand website. So this is more than just a website. This is actually um, what we would use for a specific church. Like, this is more just communication in general. The focus is around the copy that we're going to use. Since we've already found we put the design and everything together in step 5. Now we're looking at really the content and how we're going to utilize it. And I'll go through some slides of what we've done for a previous church. So we're using Bethel Baptist that we did this for, and I'm going to show you sort of how we kind of put this together for them, to show what we do for all the churches that we work with. So the purpose of this: clarity, and consistency. What follows is a guide to present to your staff, leadership, and other team members that solidifies who Bethel Baptist is, here to serve, how it serves, and what people can expect when they take next steps to engage with you. Who we serve. So this was what we were able to discover in our breakdown with this church. So a bit more based off of our ideal disciples. So we look about the demographic, which is boomer, located in Maryland, financial 6 figures, family empty nesters. And then we look at the challenges. Some of their challenges included losing vitality, facing hopelessness, identity crisis, self-centeredness, technology barrier. So we look at some of the barriers that they have and the challenges. That's really important. So we're going more deep than just what we did in the first phase, and we really go deep into what these people are facing, and we try to create language that communicates to those challenges. What they want. So this is some of the discovery that we did in some of our sessions to really dig out, what these people are looking for. And we discovered that they want to make an impact on the next generation. They want to add value. They want to be close to their grandchildren, community and fellowship, experiences, and travel. And then their challenges. So we look at really 4 different types of challenges. One is external, so losing vitality and technology barrier. Internal, stuck facing hopelessness, identity crisis. And then philosophical, stuck in their own way. So we look at all different types of challenges, from what they're facing outside of themselves, inside of themselves, and then their mentality or their philosophical view, and how that's a barrier to them getting what they need from the ministry. Our role as a guide. So this shows the church's role as a guide, and we look at what positions the church to be able to be a proper guide for this person. One thing that we discuss is the fact that the church is not the hero, but rather the guide to the hero. That's what's going to make this ministry successful. So we look at empathy and and how they're able to empathize with the person in their challenges. So we see here, name a couple. We have members who are in that same age range. They have children who have stepped away from the faith and feel like they have failed. Technology barrier is universal. And then authority. So why would a person listen to this particular ministry, the leadership, etc.? And then we go into that. So this is really important because we want to ensure that we're able to build a case of why that person should connect with this church. And then the process. What process will that person have to take in order to engage? So 3 steps here include community outreach event, connect them with a group, and then the new members class. So that's the pathway that they'll have to take. And then the guarantees that that ministry has for the person. Promise number 1, handicap accommodation. Promise number 2, relationship connections. Promise number 3, technology accommodation. So what can you guarantee to this person? All of that's really important when it comes to um, building a case for this person to be able to put their trust into this ministry and this organization. Calls to action. So you have 2 different types of call to action. One is the direct, so a plan your visit button for your website, and then a transitional one. So maybe they're not able to plan a visit, but watch the live stream. That can be that's also an option. What they should expect. Number 1, peace with God and themselves. So to understand, to receive new friendships, and then breakthrough, have a new passion for life. So these are the things that they should expect. And what will they avoid? So we find things that they are going to avoid if they do connect and become a member. So they're going to avoid wander or isolation rather, apathy towards life, and harmed relationships. And then transformation. So you're going to go from isolation to connection, eternal anxiety to eternal peace, apathy to purpose. And then we develop a one-liner that all the leadership can connect with. So here we ended on: the world is ferociously independent, but through community connection, Bethel Baptist will support them to help them realize that they were created for connection with God and each other. So once we have the website set up, then we set up your digital location. And these are the 8 things that we put together in this phase. We make sure that your Google My Business is verified, that if you haven't applied for the Google grant, we will set that up for you. We're going to set up your Google Analytics, your Facebook API conversion pixel. We basically set up all your social media with the new brand guide that we developed. We do a new email system verification setup, so we're able to basically set up a process for your email, chatbot, and then text system to ensure that communication is consistent throughout all your different communication needs. And then finally, we develop a 12-month digital ministry game plan. And basically, there's 4 parts to this: post-COVID comm policies for your church growth, automated invite system, visitor growth engine, and then build a church community with Facebook groups. And this is just a look at what this 12-month system would look like. So from February to March, we basically create a customized system. So each church there would be some similarities, but we're going to put a customized system that basically shows us, what do we need to do in each season, each phase of the year, to really ensure that growth is consistent throughout. And the big idea is that your ideal disciple needs a seat at your table in order for your church to experience exponential growth. Thank you for watching this presentation. If you're interested in learning more about what we do, please feel free to reach out to me, respond to this email, because if you're in my email list, that you're one of the main ones getting this information, or if I sent this to you. So please just respond saying that you want to set up a meeting with me to discuss, or if you're wanting some more information about this, or you want access to these slides, or a video that I did with a secret guest at another church, please reach out to me. I would love to connect with you and see if this is a good fit for you and your ministry. There are four different types of churches that really benefit from this program. One would be a church planter. So if you're a church planter or you know one, this is really a good program for them. Or if your church is growing, but you're not quite sure how it's growing, so you're in a season of growth, but you want to scale your efforts, this is a great program for you. Also, if you're in the middle of you're revitalizing your church, and you need a program that's going to help kind of lead that revitalizing efforts, this is perfect for you. And then also, if you're going to start a new campus, this is a great program to learn a neighborhood and to really have a good strategy on how to effectively reach that new community. So please reach back out to me, and I would love to share more. God bless you and have a great day.